Okay, we'll be walking from Newark Broad Street Station to Newark-Penn Station. Okay, hope you enjoy the walk. This is Newark. This is a Newark Broad Street Station. Okay, now we're gonna leave the station. There's the famous Newark Broad Street Tower. Or maybe it's not so famous, but it's downtown Newark. I believe this is Interstate 280. I believe it is. Yeah, 280, yes. Down there is Broad Street. Okay. Oh boy, what was that? Okay. Have to negotiate a few more steps. All right. Yeah, this is Broad Street. This is one of the main thoroughfares of Newark, New Jersey. This is Saturday, August 12th. Newark, New Jersey. Newark is one of those American cities that became depopulated. In 1960, according to what I read somewhere, possibly census figures, the population in Newark was about 450,000. Today, the population is about 250,000. You had something called white flight that occurred in the 1960s. The population in Newark was once overwhelmingly white. That changed starting in 1960s. And that's the way it goes. That's, mass migration took place out of Newark. There's a major shift in population. This is Rutgers University. This is Orange. We're crossing Orange Street. Okay, this is Washington Street. Okay. This is Washington Park. Oh, I guess they renamed it the Harriet Tubman Square. I can understand why in a city where virtually no more white people live, they want to rename this park to commemorate someone who's more in line with the history of the people who live here. So this is Tubman. This is the Harriet Tubman Park. Yeah, very nice. Now, is Broad Street. Newark was once a major industrial center. It's unbelievable. This city was once one of the major manufacturing centers in the world. Hard to believe, but it's true. You can look it up. This is what happens when a city declines and then bottoms out. It empties out. See all those buildings, those older buildings, they were all built like in the 1920s. This is part of the evidence of when Newark was one of the most thriving cities in the world. Okay. The two major drivers of Newark's economy now are the Prudential Life Insurance Company that has two large buildings in Newark, both of which never look particularly busy. And then the other big driver is the Rutgers University. That's the other big driver. The state of New York took over much of the center of the city and poured in a lot of money to keep the city, from totally collapsing. So, see, now this doesn't mean Newark is a complete basket case economically. It isn't. As a viable economy, it's much smaller. You do not have tourists coming to visit Newark. You do not have the kind of influx of people that you need to keep an economy going. But what you do have in Newark is the Prudential Stadium, which is the home of the New Jersey Devils. So when the New Jersey Devils are playing, you get people coming in. But that's only when the New Jersey Devils are playing. Other than that, it's like it is now. And it's something to be said for this, because a quieter city may be a more comfortable city, a less stressful city. I mean, you're not going to see any, large pockets of poverty in Newark. I mean, you're not going to see any pockets of poverty in Newark at all. Okay, we're walking around the periphery of Military Park. Okay. There's New Jersey Performing Arts Center, a place that I have never seen crowded with people, and I've walked by there many times. There's one of the Prudential buildings. There's the other one. I can I can only speculate as to the tax deals the state of New Jersey offered to get the Prudential Company, to locate in Newark. Robert Treat is considered the founder of Newark, New Jersey. This is across the way, Military Park.
One of my friends just texted me, say he just came down.
Military Park. Okay, now. Actually, let's go this way. Let's cross the street here. Oh, there's a penny. Okay. Okay, found a penny. Trip Hotel or Tripe. I'm not sure how you pronounce the word. Okay. Part of downtown Newark. See, Newark has a reputation of being an unpleasant place. It's a reputation that is unfair. And people happen to live here. It's not a ghost town. It's not, it's not Tombstone, Arizona, which I believe is now a ghost town, but once was one of the most bustling cities in the West. It has it's pristine buildings and wide thoroughfares and nicely paved pavements, sidewalks. Yeah, that's Raymond Boulevard. We're gonna cross, and this is Mulberry Street. We're gonna cross Mulberry Street and or Raymond Boulevard. Down the way there, the distance is the Prudential Center, home of the New Jersey Devils hockey team. I don't think too many people who live in Newark itself are particularly interested in the Devils, but you can never tell. This is Mulberry Street. We're on Raymond Boulevard now. Today the weather is warm and muggy. It's not blazing hot, warm. Typical August weather for this part of the country. So, see somebody riding their motorized bicycle, sidewalk. Another motorized bicycle, e-bicycle, across the street on the sidewalk. We're approaching McCarter Highway, another major thoroughfare in Newark, New Jersey. You got a breeze blowing in from the south. Now this is a busy thoroughfare, McCarter Highway. Mostly because it doesn't go into the center of Newark, it goes around the center of Newark. Now we're crossing McCarter Highway. On Newark Center. Okay. Soon we'll be reaching our destination, which is Newark-Penn Station. This is Raymond Boulevard here. Yeah, this boulevard runs east-west. Broad Street runs north-south. Now, you might be asking, where are all the people? Oh, emergency vehicle. Very annoying sound. Okay. As soon as I said that, they shut off the siren. Okay, soon we'll be approaching. Wow, there's Newark-Penn Station. There it is. Newark-Penn Station was built in the 1930s when the United States still built stuff, when we still had an industrial base. And actually, very few people, if anybody, was actually on welfare, from what I read. You had very few street people. This is what, based strictly on what I've read. It could be all propaganda. In the 1920s and 30s, New York City, in fact, the United States, had a massive industrial base. People were working in factories or working in industries that were ancillary to these factories. And you had thriving communities that were shoring up middle class values. Okay? The economy was bringing people into the middle class. It was actually integrating people into the middle class across all ethnic lines. And then that process stopped. It ended. And the deterioration began. That doesn't mean the economy of the United States wasn't growing. This is Pennsylvania Station. Okay, built in the 1930s. Okay, it doesn't mean the population wasn't, the economy isn't growing. The economy is much, much bigger than it was in, 80, 90 years ago. I mean, no comparison. But the economy does not create the kind of unity and does not create the kind of bringing together of people that it did in the past. The economy now is much more geared to a small segment of the population that happens to have a lot of money to spend, leaving out everybody else. Decades ago, a working class person could buy a house. Those days are finished. Decades ago, we had a very strong currency based on a gold standard. That's over. Now, this is the interior of Penn Station. And, okay, I think we can terminate the video now. Okay, hope you enjoyed the vid.